Good afternoon. Yes, I can.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I can. Good afternoon.
Okay, all right. Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be here, and we are here again for another exciting, you know, um, session here. So before I start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Emilade Oni. I'm a marketing specialist at Clever, and I'm going to be your moderator for today's session. And I know that we are all expecting exciting things to learn, wonderful insights. Even I myself, I can't wait to, like dive in and really glean into like the wisdom of our speakers for today. But before I go into introducing our speakers, I want to quickly talk about GrowthHackers Africa. So first and foremost, I'm such a big fan of the community because I regularly go to their YouTube channel and watch their videos, and it has really helped me a lot. I think that one of my best past sessions was the one on social media where we had Treasure Okure and some other speakers, and it was so insightful. So if you are here, maybe this is your first time coming to this webinar or even hearing about Growth Hackers Africa. Maybe somebody posted it on their status and they're like, I don't even know what Growth Hackers Africa is, but I'm just here. Well, Hackers Africa is a community of growth operators driving key business results across both early and growth stage companies in Africa. They have a group, and towards the ending you can learn more about like how to join the community. Also, you can go to their channel and subscribe. They have lots of videos. If you are a social media manager, there's a video for you to learn from. There is a video on community, there's a video on product marketing, different aspects of marketing. Like you have what you want there, so you really should go and like feast on their past videos. All right, now I want to introduce some of our speakers. I think we have um, one of our speakers here. Yes. Ayobami is around. Yeah, yeah. Ayobami Marius is around. Yes, and he's the head of marketing for Konga Group. So I'm going to read his bio, and I would like for every single one of us to listen attentively. So Ayobami Marius Agbede is a seasoned business leader and innovation expert with over 12 years of experience. Wow. Spanning innovation, product marketing and development, marketing strategy, digital marketing, brand strategy, and public relations. He has worked across diverse industries, including technology, FMCG, finance, PR, and advertising. This is proof that I have to become close to, Ayobami, because I'm also in fintech. I'm also like in the finance space. So I'm 100% sure that I can learn one or two from him. Yeah, moving on. So prior to joining Konga Group, he worked as the innovation manager at Grand Oak Limited, um, national national distros, contributing to the introduction of new brands such as Oriki 11 and the revamping of existing ones like Calypso, which won the most reinvented premium coconut liquor brand at the Afribees Awards 2024. Wow. He also served as the head of marketing at Buy. Sorry, I can't see that. Okay, yeah, at Buy Let Live Limited, where the brand won the best online real estate portal of the year of the 2022 Africa Housing Awards. Additionally, he was the head of marketing at Space Finish Africa, overseeing the communication strategy for Union Bank Space X initiative. At ID Africa, a Nigerian PR agency, he worked as the program manager, and at the Nigerian Exchange Group, that is the Nigerian Stock Exchange, he served as the brand and marketing analyst, successfully managing key campaigns such as the NSE E-Race Cancer campaign, NSE Excaton, and the introduction of NGX Stocktown. As group head of marketing, Konga Group, overseeing and shaping at the marketing activities of the various verticals under Konga, such as Konga Health, Konga Travels, Konga Pay, Konga TV and Radio, Konga Logistics, TD Life, Konga Retail, Konga Corporate, wow, and Konga com, and is an omni-channel e-commerce platform. He doubles as the executive director, corporate affairs and digital marketing at Xenox Group, which had TD Africa Tax Systems Limited, Xenox Technologies, and Konga Group. Ayobami oversees corporate communications, public and government relations, marketing and digital strategy, CSR initiatives, crisis management, and brand positioning. Wow, I had so much fun like reading this bio. This is so packed, this is so detailed. Welcome, 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 Ayobami. We are so, so happy to have you. I think that while we are waiting for our next speaker, I want to just ask Ayobami like a few questions. Don't worry, it's nothing serious yet. I mean, we're not yet getting into the meat of today's session. These are just like fun
Okay.
questions. So I want to ask
Okay.
you that if your dream job were a movie title, what would it be?
I think it's called Keep Moving, Never
Keep
Stand Still.
moving. Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. So keep moving. Nice, 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 nice. All right. Another question for you. What is one thing that you cannot start your day without? Like when you wake up in the morning, this is something that is a staple and essential for you.
So I usually write down, oversee what my day was like the day before. So whenever I start my day in the morning after prayers and whatever, I look at my outlook for the day. What exactly am I trying to achieve? What's the day going to be like? What are the key things I need to clear out? So even before I get to the office, I already know top line what are the first three things I need to get sorted out before, and I look at the to-do list for the other little list things I need to be done. So,
All right. I like that. That means like you're a very structured person. I feel like me too. Most of the time, I also like to, like plan
I
my
try to
day.
do.
And it's good, it's good because it helps you to, work more effectively. You're not like all over the place. So I like that. I think I will ask one more question. What is
Sure.
one Lagos restaurant that you would recommend? I know that you're a big man. Gone to so many places in this
I'm
Lagos,
a
but like, what's
very,
one that
I'm a, ve- I'm a very small
yeah,
boy,
we
please.
just
There are still people bigger
you're
than
very
me.
small. Ah, no, without your bio, no, you're not. So, what is one restaurant that
Uh,
like you went to and you were like, I really like this food, the ambience, the food, the experience, customer service, all of that.
ah, so there are two. There's one on the mainland. I'm bad with restaurant names. I just know how to drive there. There's one on the mainland just right before Omonde Bridge 2. Um, yeah, I just know it's a new small chic place. And there's one that is in VI. It's on the same street as the Nigerian ASEC. I know how to get there, but I'm bad with the names. I'm terrible with names. So
That's
when it comes
fine.
to restaurants, I just know how to get there and go
Okay,
and
no
eat.
problem. But
So
what is one thing that you like about the place? Is it the food, or just the ambience, just
I
how
think
everybody feels?
I think it's the ambience. So I like the fact that it's quiet. Um, I also like the aesthetics. So they have very beautiful wooden aesthetics on the top, like patterns and everything. So it's really nice. It's really nice.
All right. I'm happy to hear that. To be honest, like I feel like Lagos restaurants are really winning with ambience nowadays. Sometimes their food might not be great though, but everybody's always looking very cool. So yeah, whenever you remember the name of the restaurant, you can let us know so we to go there and experience for ourselves. All right, all right,
No
all right.
problem.
Now let's just dive into the questions. So I mean, as the head of marketing Konga Group, omni-channel marketing is something that you are very familiar with. You have like so much experience in this part of marketing, and it's usually associated with like digital platforms in Africa. And we know that here in Nigeria, especially like offline channels, they play a very dominant role. Billboards, events, activations, and the likes. So, in your own words, how will you define like omni channel marketing in a marketplace where offline interactions still influence most customer decisions? And why do you think that offline touch points, why do you think that they really matter, especially in this part of the world, Nigeria?
So I'll first try to clarify because there are two different points of view, right? The first is there is something called omni-channel business, right? So,
All right.
what that means is, for an omni-channel business, it means that you have various touch points that your customers experience the brand. So, I'll look at, and I even look at something that my competition tried to have one time. They wanted you to come in and register on the platform, then you have a payment solution to be able to serve your entire needs or whatever you want to do on the platform. That's Junior Pay. And you could also buy food along the way. And that's someone that was trying to create that. Right. And Konga, we also do the same thing. But we now do it a little bit different. So we have our logistics, we have retail, so you have both online and offline. So for the online bits, you come in, if you're looking for Dema, you go to health. If you're looking for basic things, you go to Konga Online. If you're also looking to do the payment solution, that's the fintech bit, you do Konga Pay. And then you now go to corporate and the rest with all the other brands. You have a radio channel to get up to date information. So that's creating an omni-channel business. So if someone comes in and is looking for something to buy and he's not sure what it is, he can go on the radio channel and listen to the deals for the day and have an idea of what he wants to get. He doesn't want to put his bank details on our platform. He goes on to Konga Pay, registers, puts in money there. I mean, that's creating a journey, right? And you now get into whichever channel it is you want to buy, whether it's um, online and offline. So you buy something online and you say, "Oh, I'll pick it up at your store, which is close to me because I want to see what I have before I finally, or I don't want to pay for logistics, right? I want to see what it is that I have before I finally now, commit to the payment." You have that online offline bit. So that's an omni-channel business strategy. Now, for omni-channel um, communication strategy, there's quite of a bit of a difference. So there's multi-channel points. A multi-channel is multiple touch points. So I have social media, I have digital marketing, I have Google ads, TikTok, and the rest. That is multi-channels. I mean, I can push different communications at different times to different places, and they can mean different things, and you'll be confused which one it is that I'm trying to say. On one TikTok channel, there's something talking about discounts. On the other one, I'm busy pushing communication as regards going to my offline bit of stores, or there's a promo somewhere. On the third channel, I'm doing something for my partners who are probably paying me for adverts, and there's not that synergy. But when you look at the omni-channel bit, you're looking at every single touch point is speaking the same language. So whether you're online or offline, you're saying the entire same thing. So if, for example, yesterday we had a store, there's an activation for Samsung, right, on one of our stores. On the online bit, we mentioned it that, oh, go to the offline and go to our radio station, go to Sakatinubu and get the best deals of the day. The radio channel was speaking the same thing, saying, oh, there's an activation happening at this particular time, and this Samsung A06 is going for this freebie, this. On the online bit, on our platform, we were doing giveaways and treasure hunts, showing that we're trying to create a user journey that, okay, if you don't want to go offline, you can still come on the platform and still experience the same thing, the same discounts, the same, experience that we're trying to give you offline, go online. Because that's omni-channel communication, right? So all our various touch points, whether you come to our platform, on the app, in our social medias, we're all saying the entire same thing, and that is the journey that you're trying to create for your users. And that is the major key difference between multi-channel and omni-channel. And for that bit, right, you're looking at every other thing that has to go in between it. So our stores were saying the same thing, the staff members were promoting the same thing. Media channels were saying the same thing. Majorly, the omni-channel is meant to be something that allows for synchronization for for a business. If I am communicating a campaign at a particular time to a particular set of audience, I need to ensure that all my channels of communications are saying the same thing. If I'm doing a radio jingle, it has to be the same message that is being said on my ads as well. You get discount at unbeatable prices. Those are the key things that make omnichannel channels what they are. If if they are just moving at different frequencies or at different things, saying different things, then that's a multi-channel strategy. And that is one that lets you know that you just have various channels of communication, various touch points that say different things and act independent of each other. And that is not what you're trying to create, because the journey of the person is about creating trust, right? So if you come on the platform, you come onto someone's business, you see that the guy is saying this and is also saying that, you have be able to create that credibility that, okay, what this guy says offline is the same thing as what he says online. If you try to make it take away from a business and look at it from a personal point of view, you see that we sometimes don't listen to some people, right? Because what they say on social media is not what their life is about. Right? Someone comes to say on social media that, hey, I gave 2 million naira away to people with motherless babies home, but in real reality, the guy just gave like 20,000 naira, and his personal friends know that this guy is a very stingy guy. You will never believe whatever he says, even when he's trying to create a brand impression of himself, right? So he's doing a multi-channel strategy. That means to one side, my friends and family see me as this person. To the other public, this is what I'm trying to communicate. But what the omnichannel does is synchronize that entire same communication and make it seamless for the customer to understand. And he sees the same person, sees the same business, understands the same communication message that is being passed across, so it's not distorted and it can build trust and credibility.
Thank you so much. That was so profound. And I like that you made a clear distinction between omni-channel and a multi-channel to, emphasize that for omni-channel, it is the same thing that there is the same thing that like you are saying, even if across different channels, or like multi-channel where they are saying like different things. I really like that, and I also like that you emphasize that it is about building trust. So yeah, thank you very much. So I'm going to ask another question, and it's still bordered around like offline. So we know that for Konga, right, they have a lot of physical stores. In Lagos. So I want to ask that they prefer physical reassurance, because in this Nigeria we know that there's a lot of scam. So online somebody can say if you buy this you get this. People are like, no, I want to go to a physical store. Let me see with my two eyes. Let me pay for it with my hand, collect it, look at the products, all of those things. Just because of the way Lagos is, and just the way Nigeria is, like everybody really likes that, going to like the physical store for like reassurance and all of that. So I want to ask, like visiting stores, cash payments, or like speaking with an agent, whatever it is, how does Konga blend these offline behaviors with digital, like marketing, without like creating friction between the two of them?
Okay, I mean that's a very fantastic question, and we have uh, physical stores across Nigeria, in the east, in the west, and north. But Lagos is our major hub. How do we blend it? The first thing we do is we ensure that the persons who you are working with, the persons who you are going to interact with, know the same level of information, right? So, for example, we have an uh, internal group community, so where information is being dumped in. So it's something that you're meant to check daily, and you're meant to be informed with all the things that are happening. So we first start from the inside, and that means that people, the staff members, because they're the first set of contacts which you're going to have with anybody's going to have with. Because if you go into the store and a store doesn't know that there's a promo going on, or maybe dirty phones, he's going to be lost and say, no, I don't know about this. Then you'll be like, you guys are scamming me, as you mentioned. Right? So that's the first thing. You ensure there's a level of awareness internally that goes on first, right? And then you create that same awareness level offline. What about that means that you have for example, we sometimes have danglers that show the campaign that is ongoing in the physical store. Sometimes we have, roll up banners, and all those designs and stuff. We even have, OH, whereby we have some billboards and the rest that helps us create that awareness for and those particular places for those particular campaigns. And most times we like to target it around places where the stores are, right? Then there's also vendor partnerships. And what I mean by that is the people in my marketplace, people who are doing certain things for us, who are selling certain businesses on our platform, they're also aware of this discount. There's regular engagement and there's regular things that happen. And that way you are sure that your acquisition funnel is 100% valid, right? Then we do activation sometimes, right? We have the like I said, we did an activation for Samsung yesterday. So we have activations that frequently happen from time to time. Flyers are distributed, and people get to know what exactly is happening within those particular stores because there's a level of awareness which you have that you only consider when you start seeing activity. So, I mean, there's a time that you won't go to the marketplace, you won't go to the market to buy something if you don't see that maybe the prices in general prices are being reduced, and you see one particular vendor who's actively trying to tell you that, oh, this my price is the best price that you can get out there, and that way you are able to get physical reassurance that okay, this particular thing is happening, and you've created awareness digitally, you've created awareness with all the other um, platforms which you have. You'll now also be able to create some sense of credibility when your staff have that level of awareness as well. So that means, and there's presence within your vendors, presence within your physical stores to create consideration. Then we have something called the WhatsApp channels, which also allows us to WhatsApp links, right? That allows us to be able to get things physically. So you come onto the channel and they tell you that okay, this particular thing you want to pick it up within a physical location. Yes, this is the location where it is available. If it is not available at your present location, because you do understand that you don't want to keep your inventory in a particular place that's redundant. So maybe, for example, something just we just launched a new a new product, right? And it just came live. It will hit major stores, but probably your store is not a major store. It's usually like a pickup location for us, and we don't put too much stock within that location because we need to just know that okay, that store is majorly for picking up. And you now say, oh, I want to see the sample before I pick it up. We know that we're going to send to you that particular product. Then there'll be someone to run you through that particular product and tell you the benefits with that, and that is more like acquisition, right? So we've created that acquisition funnel whereby you can still go back to consideration as well, and you get your first purchase, which is you're able to buy. There's an assisted purchase and all that. So majorly, that's how we create that journey for users to ensure that there's no friction, because what we are trying to promote physically in our physical stores is what exactly we're also trying to promote in our offline, and majorly it starts from the offline bit for us. So if we launch something offline, we ensure there's a channel of communication to the rest of the staff, to every single person within the group that lets them know this is happening and this is going to launch at this particular time. Now we just run around through the logistics bit, which is, you know, usually a hassle in Nigeria because if we launch something and you're saying you need something in Enugu, for example, in Enugu store, it won't happen. Yes, the person is aware about it, but it won't happen the same day as it will. For example, something launches in Lagos and it's going to be live in Ikeja. It won't happen the same day. To give you, we'll ask for a couple of days before that particular thing reaches there. Probably because of logistics and probably just because of the unrest that sometimes happens within the country that we are aware of. So things like that. But the first thing is first to ensure the internal staff and the rest of the entire people that work that are touch points for customers, they know what exactly is happening within the ecosystem as a whole.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Something that you said, I want to ask a question out of just curiosity. Have there been at times when, let's say, for example, you are trying to get more people to maybe buy things from you guys, like online instead of offline, and then you say, if you go to the physical store, maybe like you get 15%, but if you buy it online, you get like 25%, something like that. So there's like a difference in, like what you are going to get, or like you get like an extra, like an incentive, a higher incentive if you know, lean more towards a channel than another channel. Just this is just out of curiosity.
Yes, absolutely. We did that. We did that with Anchor. So Anchor was the time that Anchor online offline was cheaper than Anchor online, and that's because we wanted to drive sales for the online. You know, we had inventory offline, right? So we wanted to drive a lot of people to go and buy this particular product at our stores, and probably the feedstock and everything. So yes, we do that, and that's majorly to also create awareness. A lot of people know that Konga is an online retail e-commerce platform. Not everyone knows that some of those physical stores are not just collection points; they are actually stores that sell products. So there are certain products that we do that for. We do that intentionally to drive that awareness, especially when you notice. That's why, as a marketer, you need to be very much in touch with
Mm.
the sales team on this and the information that comes in from the sales team. So when you start seeing dips within certain areas, especially when you create this kind of hub, this thing, you say, okay, this store is dropping. Why is it dropping? What product does it not have? You ask the retail person, oh, the reason why my sales is dropping is because I have not restocked. You know that okay, that one is the stocking problem. But it says that oh, people don't necessarily come the the store, you know that that is an awareness problem. Then you now have to create something. What is the highest moving product within this store, this particular place? What do people like to buy? They like to buy, probably like to buy home and kitchen. Okay, speak to some people, speak to some vendors, and say, okay, can I get discounts for this? Your maybe, for example, media, to kitchenware and all those gas cookers. Can I have discounts for it? And they say, okay, within the physical store, I'll give you 20%. Offline, I'll give you 10%. Sure, it makes sense. They also have inventory there that they want to sell off. So they go ahead and we do that, and that helps us drive that awareness. And before you know it, people now regularly now start coming in, and you start seeing the numbers trickling up. You even come and ask for different things. You come and you see you want, how you want to shop, especially I mean, shopping sometimes with women is a problem, right? You go in and you say you want to just buy. Yes, you want to just buy one particular item, and their eye just catches like four or five different things. I mean, that is the
Definitely.
typical thing, right? So absolutely,
Yeah.
you just come in, you create the awareness that oh, I just want to buy this particular product. But you just get there and you see they are selling this on discount. I didn't even know they have this, and before you know, it, you regularly, you might not even purchase it at that time. You just sit and say, okay, I didn't bring money for this, so I'll go home. Then maybe next week I'll come back and buy it. Those are how those kind of things happen because you still want, you're trying to create it, like I said, one the strategy is to have one business, so both online and offline. So you try to create a channel that allows for that to happen, and you need all these kind of things for to make sure those things happen.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And then for the job about women, I don't know if
Uh,
I think it means that we
Apologies.
pay attention because whenever we go, we're
Mm,
like, I want to get that. We
mm,
need this at home. We need this at home. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It's a
believe
good
it. Yes,
thing.
yes, yes, yes. It's a good
Okay,
thing.
all right. So my next question would be that I mean you said a lot today about omnichannel marketing. So if a brand is thinking that okay, I do a lot of online, but I want to start leveraging offline channels, I want to start leveraging like offline engagement and all of that in order to maintain trust, especially during sensitive moments. What advice will you give them? Like how should they go about that?
My advice, well, my number one advice is to understand that the offline channels don't work in silos, right? You can do a fantastic um, activation and there is no buzz. Every single thing is in sync. So I'll give a simple example. Ensure everything online and offline is in sync. So you can start offline and go online. You can start online to go offline. But I would advise to start um, both at the same time concurrently. So you run online and offline ads. You do flyers, you give flyers away. At the same time, you're running digital ads on social media that's creating that. The offline bit is you now get people that, you get people's numbers, you have people who are sharing the flyers, are getting these activations, getting this particular thing. You also have people that come onto the online, that click onto the online ads, right? That their numbers and emails are being saved. What is the next thing you do? you send SMS. It seems very little, but it's something that works, especially with the fact that you notice Nigerians, every time we hear that ping ping, the first thing is credit alert before we check to see if it's someone that's spamming you. So those few seconds, you get the person's attention, even with the most catchy things. Oh, you are able to get, you've been liable to get 20% off a particular promo, and the person clicks on it just to read it, and he knows that, oh, this is from the Konga guys, or this is from whatever channel it is. He's clicked on it, probably is able to download the app or whichever app that you have. There's always push notifications, because before he comes on, put give him before he decides to disable the push. Don't bother him too much, but send him some push notifications, some emails once in a while, because you have all these kind of things, and then place a call across, just to ask, hope his day is going well. This is like they promised to make a purchase, or how his purchase is going. Was he happy? Was he satisfied? And the person be like, oh, I never made any purchase. Oh, I'm so sorry. You were looking forward to you making your second purchase. You are bringing back into his mind the thought process as regards, okay, I met and I engaged this particular brand some days ago. You've done it through the SMS. You've also rekindled the same thought through a call. You probably he's gone online, probably put in his tag, and you retargeted him again, placing that call across, maybe put it in his chat, and you've made it easy and seamless. And this is done both online and offline, because you can retarget someone via just doing the push notifications, and if it does that, if you now close silence that, you place a call across just to let you know, and that is an offline bit. So it's something that you can't just do in silence. You have to ensure both your strategies work together. If they are not in unison, they won't work. As I said, that means you're doing multi-channel communication, because if I go, I do an activation, I share flyers, I take the list of numbers I call. There's no ad being running or digitally. There's no digital automation that is going on the back end. I'm calling, I'm texting. Before they know it, they block my number, and I can't reach this particular customer again. I've lost that particular person that is within my sales funnel. But if there's something that is digital that is working concurrently with the physical, right? I mean, you've pushed him to the point of him closing it out both offline and online, he will most likely purchase, the percentage of him purchasing is higher than the percentage of him not closing that particular deal. I mean, that's how you make it work. You synchronize both, and you don't make sure they work. You don't make sure they work in silos separately. And ensure this particular thing is very important. Ensure it is relevant to the culture that is existing within the market that you're trying to target. So if the people I'm trying to target are more Gen Z, right? I know that I am not going to be doing SMS. I'll most likely lean towards push notifications, or something around an activation that has influencers, right? Something like that. Something that is more culturally acceptable for that particular set of the audience. Now, if it's more millennial, I will do an SMS, say a flyer, because they'll most likely keep it inside their car, their bag. You just get it home, you know, it's something that they will just look at one more time before they finally make their decision, right? So it has to be relevant to the mindset or the culture of the people that you're working with. If you're trying to do something with that is in the north, it has to be something that has a touch of radio and market, right? So radio being like the mainstream thing that you're using to push it, and then there's a marketplace acquisition where people can go physically and close that particular thing out. uh, Different cultures, different things. So you need to make sure your channel of communication offline is in line with what the culture of that particular place accepts, both online and offline, or else you'll just be doing a multi-channel communication, and there'll be no unison and there'll be no trust.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, so one thing I'm picking and one thing I'm hearing from what you said is that don't just do offline marketing because of anybody else is doing it. I wish that founders can be on this call and can hear this, because I mean, in a lot of organ-led organizations, they'll just be like, and this brand is doing offline marketing, let us do it too. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're trying to explain to them that our market, this is not the kind of thing
It's
that
not. It's not.
like
It's not that. It's not your audience, right?
but they are not,
It's not
like
your
hearing
audience.
what you're saying. So yeah, I mean that's very profound for people to understand that don't just do
I mean,
offline
and you
marketing.
also have to consider the solution that you're trying to sell, right? If the solution, so I'll speak to the time that I worked at the stock exchange and we did something for Stocktown. Stocktown was tailored towards kids, and kids being, it was the first comic book in in the whole Africa that that it was a comic book for the stock exchange, right? For any stock exchange, and it was tailored towards kids, and kids are not necessarily digital. I mean, when I'm talking kids, 8 year old, 9 year old, 10, this was pre-COVID, so there was no tablets in kids' hands. It was not that much. It wasn't that profound, right?
Mm,
What we did was print it out. We had a digital copy, and we still do, but print it out and distribute it to the kids. Let them see this physical thing. Let them understand this physical thing. If we now decide to do what everybody did, which was just put it online and sent it to all the primary schools and secondary schools and say, oh, you know, do this particular thing. At that time, you and maybe we saw maybe another exchange doing that. We will not have the same traction because if you see another exchange, maybe the people in the US doing that particular thing, they have a different culture and they are at a different stage on their technology base, on their acceptance and every other thing compared to where you are. So, I mean, if I'm to advise anyone, look at your where you are, look at the stage in the economy where you operate, and now find the strategy that works best for us. In Africa, we like a lot of things being both. You mix it, you do more, maybe 60% physical, 40% offline. And sometimes when you start entering that growth stage, you now start transitioning, start flipping into 60% digital, 40% physical, or else you just do what everybody is doing and you will not have any traction.
mm,
So consider it for the also for the stage in which you are as a country.
true, very true. Thank you for that. Before we get to the final set of questions, I want us to just quickly have like a short icebreaker. This is going to be very 2 minutes. So it
Okay.
is just rapid fire questions, rapid fire questions. So you just this or that.
I hope
Because
I
I don't
don't
say
fail.
no. It's nothing serious. I promise you. Like it's just what your own preference is. Simple. Just this or that. So are you ready? Can
Um,
I go ahead? All right. This or
yes. Oh,
that.
and I think I found the name of the restaurant I was talking about. So it's Chapters.
Okay. What was the name?
Chapters.
I didn't get that.
Chapters Lagos. Chapters Lagos.
Tap. Oh, I think I've heard of it, but of course I've never been there. Okay, yeah. Thank you for that. Everybody, hope you heard that. I mean, we should actually go and check it out. I will check it out. So yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, back to our rapid fire questions. iPhone or Android?
It depends.
Ah, no, it's rapid fire. You have to just pick one, just one.
It
There's
depends.
no,
It depends.
no. You cannot do it different.
Privacy, privacy, iPhone for work, Android. So it
Okay, for
depends.
you personally, room work like for you, iPhone or Android.
I'm switching to a Google phone, so Android.
I can't believe this. Like, no. Android people now
uh,
they be feeling
yeah,
themselves.
I'm
Okay.
switching
Remote
to
work or office work?
remote. Please. I'm tired of the
Yeah,
office work.
everybody likes remote. Nobody likes being stuck in Lagos traffic. All right, jollof rice or fried rice?
Ah, how now? How now? It's always jollof now. How now? So
Yeah, king. Jollof is the king of all like Nigerian food. All right, ChatGPT or Google search?
Google search.
Okay. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Ah, I think I am. I work best in the evening. I don't know how that. I don't know how to explain that, but I watch.
So it's still nice. Yeah, it's still nice.
Not necessarily. So it's like from like 3 o'clock. That's the best time.
All right. Last question. HP or MacBook?
Mac.
Anything. All right. Okay. Thank you for that. Now moving on. So my next question is that many startups focus on digital acquisition because it seems cheaper or it is cheaper. I don't know. What low budget, high impact offline methods can they adopt to build credibility and win customer loyalty? So low budget but high impact offline channels that these brands can use to build credibility and customer loyalty.
Okay. I think I will give examples for this. Right. Um, Low impact, high impact for different people. So we look at OK, for example. They have this small lamppost thing, right? Um, Across when I'm driving through Maryland, going, you just see the scan with your face and all that, sometimes the QR code. That's a low impact. Because imagine there's traffic, you get to see how many people get to pass there every single day, day by day. There's a lot of brand awareness. If you have 20,000 cars per day multiplied by the entire month, you get how many eyeballs inside one particular box. For example, you can have 20 people looking at it. That's a low impact, but as in that's a low cost but high impact thing, because the person, there's brand retention, there's mind, there's everything that's coming in. Both beside branding their cars, and on one side put they put uh, they put QR codes. So if you just thought maybe, and I think some of you they say, oh, you get a discount um, off your first purchase or off your first ride. So I was inside a bus, for example, I will just scan that and know that okay, if I download this app, you know, through this QR code, my first ride will probably be free or at a very 0% cost. And these cars drive around Lagos. So the same car that is in that went to Ogba, the same one that might eventually land somewhere in Aja. Imagine the amount of people that is going to pass by to go. So buses are one. Buses and branding of vehicles are one. Lampposts are two. Um, Radio. I mean, there's a reason why Konga decided to have a radio station. It's because we wanted low impact for high, so as in low cost but high impact. I mean, how many people come on the radio channels to listen to it? We have one of our brands, which is Checkers. They do a particular program with us, and that program has gotten a lot of kids listening to this radio station. I've been telling their parents that the mom will listen to it just in case for question of the day that is going to happen in the afternoon. I might be in school. So their parents are listening to it, and they're driving through, you know, once you get the mindset of it, right, they are driving through traffic, they are just listening so that when they get home, the child is not saying that is not, or mom is not listening to the radio station. Eventually, if they have friends and family inside that particular in their vehicle with them, they get to also become listeners the of the radio station, and they get to probably hear new deals, discounts, or campaigns that are ongoing. So the radio is actually one particular channel that's good. Now, community or campus activations is one low impact and high impact system. You see why people like Ashakan became really big, not really because they were just giving out money. Right? They started from Unilag, they started doing small concerts in Unilag, they started doing small things in Unilag. They built their community from place to Unilag. There are still people that, no matter how big they are, they have regular campaigns that they run every year within that school, and those people come to see those particular campaigns and they blow up. They will become the brand ambassadors. They tell their friends, next year if you miss it, you miss this particular thing. I saw this person came. This, I mean, that's how you build a community, right? So it's not just to be doing digital ads, right? It's all those small things that you never really can tell, because you're only looking at it that, oh, it's not just this 200,000, these 200 people that are doing it. But it's not. It's not just 200 people that are just going to see it. It's 200 people that will see it, that will go and tell another set of 200 people because they know 200 people. 200 people that will come, take a picture, post it online, right? And the next thing is, um, there are over 10,000 people that have shared that particular content or have liked it or have viewed it, you know,
Yeah.
different things. You never know how powerful it is. It's just one particular activity that is done. And lastly, the most important thing is, your staff and field agents, right? Or staff or field agents. So um, we did a POS thing recently that we empowered our POS vendors with POS machines. We saw that we probably gave maybe 5, 10 people those POS machines for free and just to use them to empower their business. We've onboarded over 500 new new vendors just from 10 people, and that's the impact. Right? People come and they say, I got this for free. Are you serious? It doesn't have this. There's no issue. The next thing, market people just talk that there was no network, but transaction still went through. Next thing, they are saying this particular thing. I got reversal immediately. I got this. It might be the little thing that they will like about that particular thing. It might even be the color. Pink. That is my favorite color. I like pink. Something that silly that actually makes people just purchase. You never can tell with offline. So it's always good to use those five particular ones, which is branding on moving vehicles, OH, mass radio, activation, and having probably empowering, we call it CSR or just empowerment, empowering people with particular things that will go and seek your testimony. Those are like 5 channels that don't cost that much, but they have a high impact within your particular business.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I really like what you said about campus ambassador because I work at Clever and we have like a very active campus ambassador program. And just what you said about how they would always go and tell their friends. In fact, something as one thing that we did was for every course we send Clever merch to them wherever they are in Nigeria, and they are always so excited. And I'm always so shocked because I'm like, it's just a shirt or like just a bottle, but it just makes them feel like we are part of this brand. And they'll go and tell their friends, those ones who come and be like, "Listen, I want to sign off. How can I sign off?" And all of that. And it's something that is very beautiful to see. And if brands can just
It
really know
is.
how, yes, I didn't get that.
I say it is. It is. I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. And if brands can just really know how to turn that into like a growth engine to bring, more like active users and all of that to the platform, it's really going to be like, really great. It's organic, you're not spending like so much money, and you have like people outside there that are doing the work of marketing, on your behalf and all of that. So, thank you very much for that. So I think my final,
I
yeah,
was
sorry,
saying
you were
that
saying,
if I think back, I'll look at maybe when I was working with Brandos, right? We usually give lots t-shirts. I mean, you see a lot of people walking by, they have lots t-shirts. We just sometimes just give it for free. You know, we are driving through the market and we are doing activation and we're just throwing it here and there. Those things eventually those people buy the product when they are going somewhere. They have an affinity. Oh, I want to go to, I'm going for a party, you know and I don't want to buy a very expensive whiskey or something. I'll just buy Lord Gin. It's good. It's the same thing. They gave me one t-shirt one time, so let me return the favor by buying that particular thing. And that's how communities are built. So I do
yeah,
agree with you. It's the little things that actually matter to customers, not the big ones.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so my final question is, I mean, with everything that you said today, it's so clear that you're a pro in omnichannel marketing, offline marketing. Like
I'm
this
still learning. I'm
this
still
was
learning.
a master
I'm
class.
still
Even
learning.
I myself, I learned a lot. So I just want to ask you like about trends in the future based on everything that you've seen in the past about like omnichannel, offline marketing, and even the present. As Africa evolves, what offline omnichannel trends do you see like shaping customer behavior in the next few years?
Mm. What offline channel, right?
Yeah, like
So
offline trends that you see that will like shape customer behavior, how customers like interact with products, brands, and all of that, like in the next few, let's say like 5 years.
okay. So the first one I see is offline communities, right? And what I mean by that is, uh, you know, people. So I'll put it like this. So there's something that I'll give an example, right? There's an offline community that's being built by Bundle, which is a rewards channel, rewards customer loyalty and all that. Right? It's shaping the mindset of people because now you're now seeing that, oh, I don't necessarily have to wait to get rewarded on the platform or to get rewarded, when I go to particular app to wait for this. I can just, still have that community of engagement, that can help me to grow, uh, my sense of belonging to the particular brand, my sense of belonging to that particular thing. That's one thing that is shaping, the trend, shaping marketing. So it's something that is just coming up. It's not something that is picking up per se. It's something that's just starting, and it's something that is going to end, that continue to shape the world, right? And the next thing is you start seeing automated. I mean, people are trying to do it, but in New York and the rest, there's automated or out of home, uh, AI led or AI led out of home, um, initiative. So that means you get somewhere and you are you get to a particular place, everything is digital, digital, digital. It picks up on your phone, picks up on different things, and the ad that will now be more prominent will be something um, that is that has a lot of traction, that has a lot of reviews. So people's minds are seeing a particular thing that, oh, they've probably been talking about. He's listening to trends. He's listening to different things. So those are the things that I think are really shaping it. Brand loyalty, cultural relevance. So events will always become bigger and bigger, and you start seeing influencers getting much more bigger when they start doing physical events. You see someone like Eric Kubago, for example, he has started doing a lot of events. I mean, a lot of speaking engagements where he's telling his community members to come and be part of it, right? And that now becomes a point whereby brands will now say, "Oh, I want to tap into this particular thing. I want to be at this person. I want to be the one that sells it." He just has a community of people that he's trying to speak to. Next thing, that is expanding, right? If you think about it, it's almost tied up to what I just mentioned about brand loyalty reward programs, right? Those that are creating communities and doing that. But this is a little bit different because you are now having someone who is the face of one particular thing and is doing it. Now, if a brand now decides to now do that same thing physically, so for example, where you work, right? You now decide to start saying, okay, our community of followers, we want them to come and start engaging with us physically. We are going to be having I'll look at it. We are going to be having maybe relationship advices, or we're going to be having, what is the topic that is more trending? Maybe something around finance, that will tell people how to save, how to do different things. And we are going to have it with 50 people. Those 50 people will say, maybe I'll tell my friend, bring my friend for the next one. This thing. You now start expanding from 50 to 100, from 100 to 200. Now you're not getting a big place with people who come onto your platform. They might not do anything, but they are coming for that particular event. And when that event is coming up, you now say, okay, you guys have been inactive, but you're just waiting to be part of that event, right? Do start performing certain activities. Stanbic is doing it with their health and fitness. You can't be part of Stanbic's health and fitness without probably doing a purchase. But there are people that have Stanbic app that don't do anything all year. They just want to be part of a free fitness class for the year. They want to find maybe that's where they'll meet their future spouse. Something they just want to do something, right? Same thing like but something like Jenny Bank did at one particular time, something that Verve is doing. People just have those apps and they are coming for the engagement, right?
Mm.
So it's something that is definitely shaping the mindset. You can create your own and you can work with an influencer. And you can also use, I mean, and there's the AI bit, which is AI being infused to digital marketing. Sorry, it's used to out of home. I think that the last thing for me that will shape the mindsets of people that's going to come back up is vendor partnerships. in physical locations. So a lot of people are going to outsource. I mean, we used to have 26, beginning of the year, we had 26 retail stores. Now we have 22. Not because the company is in the wrong. We've realized that to work on certain places, we need to partner with certain people. So we partner with physical stores in some places because it just makes more sense. Those people have a follower, a set of following, and a set of people that you want to be the ones that are actively purchasing. They don't need to compete with them. Just partner with them and get your business done. We partner with me with some of the retail outlets to push some of our products like therapy products and the rest for Konga Health, right? We do that to be able to get, we're inside their business, we are partnering with maybe for iFitness, for example, to get therapy into their particular community because these people have a community of people. So why do I need to now go and set up a physical store at this particular place? No, I'll just partner with the one that has the high footfall and say, oh, I'll display my particular unit here, and you also be able to display your particular to be a symbiotic relationship. You also be able to display your units on my platform and say win and win for them. When people come and see, or rather come and engage you physically, they see my kiosk, they see the particular thing, and they buy one or two things. It might not be that much, but it's coming into, it's still affecting your bottom line. And for them to, when they come onto the platform, you sell one or two products. It's that particular thing that is like shaping businesses because you are now lighter, lighter, and you're able to do more. So if you now want to do an activation, you won't think about the cost that I'll be paying for light, I'll be doing this, I'll be doing it. It's on someone else's head. All you're trying to do is drive traction, drive sales within a particular unit, which is a win-win for both of you. So those are like the four things I think will shape the business. This is strategic partnership, digital AI in OH, community engagement, um, both 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 for yourself as a business as well as through influencer partners, and lastly, reward events and reward partnership events, which which will eventually become something big for for those who want to wait for this kind of thing. So
Thank you very much. Just to recap what you said about trends, you said that number one is strategic partnerships, number two is AIOH, number three is
yeah,
community engagement, and number four is around like reward partnership events. And
yeah,
if for me, I think I would like to add one more because actually I will go for like a lot of events and I kind of already see it happening. And I would say more of like maybe customer experience at event booths. So, for example, we have like this spinner that we use at events, and a lot of people come around and tell their friends, "Oh my God, if you spin, you can win this, you can win that." Even simple things as photo booths and like branded photos, very cute and love. People will sit down, they will take pictures, they will post it. From posting, everybody will see like your brand name, and just that one picture would like travel far and all of that. I
yeah.
also think that that is something that brands can start paying more attention to, like the experience of users whenever they come to their booths at physical events and all of
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And as Africans, we are more cultural, so we're more in tune with those things that allows us to express our culture.
yeah,
So yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. So I think we are done with our questions, but the audience might have questions. But before then, I would just like to ask our audience. I mean, we're learning today and hearing about like offline marketing and the like. So I just want to ask you that think of like a recent offline brand experience, maybe a physical store visit, a billboard that you saw, a billboard that caught your attention. This is for the audience, by the way. Oh. I mean, our speakers said so much. So based on everything, what made the moment memorable? How did it influence your decision to continue using the brand? So we can share our experience in the chat. But I mean, I would like to answer this question first. And I remember that when CarryWise first started their offline marketing, There's a particular one of there that had farrywise.com. That was all that was on the billboard. And I remember that it caused a conversation like a spark on Twitter. Some people were like, oh my god, this is so creative. Some people were like, does not make sense. Okay, what does it mean? You just put your website link like that, and there were like arguments and all of that. And I was just thinking that in all of this billboard still caught people's attention, whether you are for it or against it and all of that. Like it was just memorable in its own way, right? Just the fact that people could still like bring it on Twitter to start like discussing and breaking it down on why it made sense or why it did not make sense. So I mean that was a memorable billboard like for me because I remember the conversation that sparked after that. So yes, does anybody else have like their own experience? Maybe a brand that you saw, maybe their physical store, you went there and it just felt so good. It can be a good experience, can be a terrible experience. You can just let us know like in the comment section. Okay, I mean, while we're waiting for the audience, I think I will just ask the question to our speaker. Like, for you, not Konga now, for you, what is one, like offline marketing for a brand that you're like, I like this. I think I will steal this idea. Very, very good.
I've already stolen it. So yeah, I already stole it, and I did it already. You said it a while back. Um, so it was something I saw that Nike did a while back ago. Right? So they had this um, campaign whereby they are telling people they also drop the location and a date and time, and they said this, they didn't put anything else. That's what they did. Location, date and time, and people just came. Eventually, they just came on that particular location, date and time, and there was music, raves, and the rest. Now, what I did was was take it a little bit different, which was put a location, put a date. Just, I didn't put a location. I just put synopses or tiny bits of cues of a particular person, right? Music referrals, different things of that particular person to be used in for a campaign, right, at the stock exchange. And I put a date as well, no location, no anything. But on the day of the launch, right, and that was something that my boss was like, okay, we need to make the announcement of Two Face being a big boss ambassador a little bit different, right? And we did that. Uh, And when it was not time, we just showed his face and said, today, Two Face is this, and it's coming to close the closing down ceremony. I knew how much social media buzz was on that particular day and time, and it was really big. So it's something that I took offline, but I decided to adopt it online. As I said, for me, I've already done it, and that has been something that has struck me for a bit. Even when I worked in ID Africa, we tried to adopt the same thing when we did. Who remembers Davido's birthday stunt when he was asking for birthday gift?
Yeah,
Eventually, what
yeah.
happened was so eventually ID Africa and company I worked for did that, and what now happened was 2 days later you heard that Davido was a brand ambassador for Alat and things like that. It's the same kind of vibe, right? But it was something that we just adopted it in a different way. Just things like that. So far so good. It's those two things which I believe I've done. And I'm looking forward to finding something else that's more interesting to try. Um, so yeah, yeah, that's majorly.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, so we have a question, and the question for you is if you could give African brands one golden rule for integrating offline channels into an omni-channel strategy, what would it be?
One golden rule for integrating offline channels into online, what will it be? Always watch the ROI. awareness is not so offline is not just about awareness. It's also a way to track results. So track your results. That's the way for you to appreciate offline, right? Most people just come, wow, we share the flyers, we did this, we did that. No, that's not it. We share the flyers. How many people signed up? How many people? Um, what is the value of people that signed up? So when they sign up, did they just sign up and stay at tier one? Did you encourage them to stay at tier two, tier three? That means they've gotten to the highest point, right? Did you encourage them to make a particular purchase? So how many people signed up? Who did the purchase? I mean, you can decide to do a spin and wheel there. So when the person signs up, you now say, "Oh, you have a chance to win 1,000 naira," and you ensure that they win that 1,000 naira and it is on their wallet. They will
Mm-hmm.
definitely perform a transaction to get that money out, whether it's on their card, whether it's just to buy something very small, even if you just to send sharp 2,000 naira to someone, it's going to be there and they just add 1,000 naira on top of it and they send the money. You've eventually gotten a customer that's seen and experienced you. So don't just see the golden rule is don't just see the offline channel as awareness alone. See it as a way for you to start and even get return on investment with the people that you engage with. So that way you will appreciate it a lot more.
Okay, thank you. I have a follow-up question to this. So I feel like a lot of people think of, like offline marketing majorly for awareness because they believe that you can't track it as much as you can track, like, online marketing. So for example, if I post or run an ad, I can use Google Analytics to see like traffic sources, channels, all the likes and all of that. But for offline marketing, you might not really be able to do that. So I think the question I would like to ask is, in what ways can you've spoken about like ROI now. So how can I measure, like results, like track results for like offline and all of that?
I, I, that is a myth. Why can't you track? It's a very big myth for you
Yeah.
to say you are not. Uh, so, so I get. I mean, I ran a campaign with Ashaka and some other people for Konga recently, and even yeah, where we had where we had unique referral codes, right? So you know how Ashaka does his thing. He will go and meet someone, and he tell the person sign up and do this particular thing. You know, just his typical message. Or you ask questions and he will give money out and all that. That's the typical MO. There's a way to get it. The person is signing up using his unique QR code. You're creating flyers, you're putting scan codes on it. And those scan codes you can make them unique that they have a QR code on it, right? And that way you are tracking the results. So you have tools like Power BI that allows you to be able to know where the source is coming from, right? If you geotarget or you put those unique referral codes on those flyers or on those things, on the particular link that you create for this particular set of people to sign up, you know where the 20 set of people are coming from. You know you know who did transactions using those particular people because you brought them in through a particular automated system and that way you track them, right? You've also been able to do simple things. For example, you might decide to, if your scan code is not working, you might decide to say, oh, go on our WhatsApp channel and get this thing. So you give the WhatsApp people your name, number, this thing, and where you came from. Oh, I'm signing up from this activation. They have gotten your information, and that way you've gotten you've been able to track it, right? You've been able to use normal traditional ways of there's normal digital tools to get the results that you are trying to get, like to be able to measure your expense and also what you've invested in marketing for the physical. So it's actually quite easy. I mean, it just means that a different maybe just a tiny layer of technology is needed, uh, but it's quite easy for you to track using. I've just mentioned three tools, which is unique code for sign up, or you know any other any other link that you decide to use, even if it's Git link, right? Um, the Power BI, that's two, just tracking those unique codes, and even Google sometimes you know how to configure it. And lastly, you have WhatsApp channels. So just those three I'm sure I can measure the results which I'm having for just three particular channels or rather two
All
particular
right,
pages.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you so much. Somebody commented and said that I started using OPay through a billboard that was showing free transfer available, and I also started using MoneyPoint Bank as a result of their POS times. And I mean, he's just really emphasizing everything that you are saying about, like the power of omnichannel marketing, offline marketing, and all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. I think that we have come to the end. But then there's just one last question. And this
There's
is just
always a
like
last question.
no, this is a closing question. This is a wrapping up question. So,
Okay.
what is one mistake, one major mistake that brands make when they are trying to combine offline and digital channels, and how can they avoid it? And I'm very
Uh,
interested in this answer actually.
One mistake that brands make when trying to combine offline and digital. Um, I will give an example. So offline, there was a time that online rather, there was a time that we got there's a brand that I worked with, freelance, right? Got a digital, got a influencer to do something. And the influencer was a very expensive, high-end influencer. It was quite high. Yeah. And offline, the target market we're trying to get for someone were the unbanked, were the low-end people. There was a very big disconnect. We saw the big influencer, will give us mileage online, people will see our videos, everything. That happened, but there was a disconnect between um, the between the offline bit because they will see someone that big and be like, I beg you, these people they just want to collect our money. How much I mean, Nigerians are using someone that big. That means you are trying to collect my money to go and pay for the person. It's slightly like that sometimes. So once you understand your brand identity and your target audience, you need to ensure that whoever it is that you're using to amplify on the online bit is in sync with what you're trying to do. Um, I know that a lot of businesses will believe that using someone who's big and influential is awesome, is great. But if you're using someone who's big and influential, ensure that the things that you're doing showcase that you've gotten to this particular level of where you are in your business. So if you are trying to get a person who's a mama put joint person, you can't be using I don't think you can't be using someone who's speaking English. You can't use R&B, for example. You can't use a DJ Kupi to get that kind of person in an ad. You need to look at someone who's like and it's like amplifier like with Brother Shaggy, someone who's local, someone I won't use the word local, but someone who's able to relate to that particular downstream, to be able to promote himself in that particular way that it looks like, oh, who these guys are using is relating to what I'm trying to say. If there's no synergy in that particular bit, you will miss the point. You will not be able to acquire the person. Right? There has to be a perfect unity between what you are doing and what you are doing. So, like now in Konga, we're using Toby Bakri to promote the Konga Yakata season, right? And we're not we're not doing anything that is offline that is not in line with that. So our activities offline, the activations we did is Samsung. So we're telling you that okay, um, the person we're using is also in line with this. When you want to get a freebie, we tell you to spend at least 15,000. We're not telling you to spend 1,000 naira because if we tell you, oh, spend 1,000 naira and get a freebie, you now start saying, are you paying for Toby Bakari with 1,000? No. I mean, we're telling you something to do something reasonable, which is 10,000, 15,000. You're like, okay, they're using this person to do this. There's that marriage that's ongoing. What is the discount that we're giving? 70%. It's not, we're not telling you 99%. No. The time that we do 99% is when we know that it's a treasure hunt or something, and you have to find a particular product. So there is that marriage between what we're doing offline and online. Offline, we're promoting this. Online, we have this image that we're trying to do, and it is well married. Um, you know, Activities that we're doing, people that we're partnering with, partners with Bundle, partner with different platforms, just to show that what we are doing and the kind of community we're trying to create. We're trying to tell people, Nigerians, that you can live better, you can do better with just little, and you don't have to do so much. Who we're working with also has that imagery as well. There is that marriage, so it's not easy, and there's synergy, and I can just say, if you want to just if close just reiterate, ensure there is a marriage between your offline and online. It looks the same. If it's not the same, you will miss it. You will miss it greatly.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was very profound. I like what you said about ensuring that even if you want to work with influencers, ensure that these are people that your target audience can relate with, so that doesn't feel like as if you are burning money. Because influencer marketing now is because they are not everybody's eye. Everybody now knows their worth. So you need to ensure that the money you are spending is worth it and that you're actually getting results from it. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
I mean, this was so profound. I enjoyed the conversation. I learned a lot myself from everything that you said today, and I'll definitely be, practicing like one or two things from here. So thank you very much. Hoping to
You're
connect with
welcome.
you outside of this conversation.
Sure.
All right, thank
Anytime.
you.
Thank you so much, Demilade and Ayobami. This session was a very interesting one, and we enjoyed hearing Ayobami unfiltered. I mean, breaking down every concept to us, we got what we ordered all the way through. Thank you, Demilade, for keeping the session going and lively as well. And here is how to reach Ayobami. For those of us who want to, thank you so much, Ayobami, once again. For those of us who want to connect with Ayobami, here's how to reach Ayobami. Yes, on LinkedIn, on X, and on Instagram. And to reach our amazing speaker, Demilade, on LinkedIn and on Instagram. This is how to reach Demilade Oni. Thank you so much once again. This webinar was brought to our screens by Growth Hackers Africa, which is a fast growing community of over 700 growth professionals. This is the 12th webinar of our Pillar of Growth series, and we've been at this for about a year, bringing amazing speakers to your screen and discussing different pillars of growth for months now. Our previous episodes are available on this YouTube channel, on YouTube. The purpose is to intimate growth professionals in Africa on the top channels that top companies rather use to drive growth and scale up. So for those interested in joining Growth Hackers Africa, this is the link to sign up to Growth Hackers Africa. It will also be available in the YouTube description of this video. Next, we have a webinar which is going to be airing on 21st of February 2026. And this webinar is titled Building a Winning Marketing Tech Stack, Tools and Techniques for Effective Customer Acquisition. So to our audience, we want to see you there. It's holding on this channel on YouTube too, and we hope to see everyone here. So thank you so much to everyone once again. I'm Temi from Growth Hackers Africa, and for emphasis, this is the link to joining Growth Hackers Africa. I'll leave it on our screens for a bit. Thank you so much to our speakers again.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Have a nice day, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.